Hello, Facebook! Hi, everyone! This is Anna Spurlik, your eating psychologist, and I'm so excited to be here with you tonight or today, depending on where you are in the world, because I'm going to teach you the number one, the best tool and strategy that I use with myself, and I'm teaching it my little kid as well. Hi, Kathleen! Thanks for joining. A strategy that is so simple and yet so effective to help you connect to your body when you're eating and checking in with yourself and knowing whether you had enough or whether you're still hungry and when it's time for you to stop. Now, if you're struggling with food, if you're like if you're like I was, where you feel like, once you start eating, you just can't stop. Maybe you've been going through a kind of bad eating episode where you've lost all structure around food, where you're just kind of grazing without really eating meals. You're kind of disconnected from your body and you don't even know anymore what it feels like to be hungry or what it feels like to be comfortably full, because you're always overshooting this mark. If you can relate to this, this is your place to be tonight, and I'm so super excited that you're here. So let me just, if you don't know me, I am Anna Spurlik. I'm a psychologist, and I've been for the past years specializing in helping women make peace with food and overcome especially their struggles with binge eating and overeating and food addiction, and helping them create a loving, nourishing, peaceful relationship with food by really digging underneath underneath the surface of what is really going on. Like, how come you're having this problem in the first place? How come it's so difficult to let go? What is really going on? And it's not about eating, cutting out sugar or eating super greens and drinking a smoothie every day. It's, the deeper underlying work that really creates this lasting change. So, and everyone who's watching the replay, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in. Now, if you're new to my live streams and you don't want to miss any of these, be sure to, I think you just hover over the top and then there's a notification and you can click on that, you will get the notification. So, Facebook is going to let you know when I'm on live. Now, let's dive in. So, here is the problem, right? Many of us, whether male or female, but what happens is that we go through life and we don't actually learn how to connect with our bodies, right? And especially if we are using food, or we have this kind of icky thing with food. I mean, food is like amongst cigarettes and alcohol, it's like a number one drug that we use in order to numb, in order to dampen ourselves, in order to make ourselves feel better. And we are living in a culture, we're living in a cultural overeating society. I mean, especially guys, if you're from the US, I mean, everything's just supersize, I mean, even the small or the medium package, it's like large, where like in Germany or in Europe, right? So it's all about more. We live in a more culture where we never reach saturation, where we're always striving to be better, to perform better, to look better, to have more money, more food, more of everything. And we have we're really disconnected from what it is that we really need, and when do we know that we actually have it, right? How do we actually know that we have what we were seeking, or what we're looking for, or what we needed? And one of the reasons is because we are not present, right? We are constantly thinking about the future or the past, and we are not really present in the present, right? So when dinner comes, or when you're hungry, when you're eating, what happens is that you get so sidetracked, and you may not even be aware of that you're eating, because you're distracting yourself with being on Facebook, or taking pictures of your food, or watching telly, or eating whilst you're on the computer or at your desk. And the brain, in order to figure out for the brain, or to get that feedback loop that you're actually full, that you had enough, that your body had enough energy, enough nutrition, enough of what it needs in order to feel, to reach satisfaction. It's a feedback mechanism, and it takes some time. It takes around roughly 20 minutes. So here's number one: you need to give yourself 20 minutes at least before you have your second portions, or before you go and have dessert, or before you kind of reach for the next thing, to give your body, to give your digestive system, to give your whole feedback system time to catch up. Okay, so this is like one of the first things that I do, like when it comes, when I feel like, that wasn't it, like it didn't do the trick for me, like I need to have more. It's really waiting, putting down knife and forks, chewing, waiting. Am I really still hungry? And here's the trick that I want to share with you. And it's, guys, it is so simple. So sometimes I think for us adults, we have a difficulty to connecting and being really real with ourselves and honest with ourselves. And it takes practice and training, which is why I'm starting to do that with my kids. So we do a game. I love turning learning into a game and into playfulness, because it takes away the seriousness, especially for us adults. It takes away the seriousness, it takes away the judgment, the inner critic that says, oh, you should be knowing this, you should be knowing when you're full, you should be knowing when you're hungry, why can't you just stop eating when you had enough, what's wrong with you, that negativity. So if you turn things into a game and just add humor, it makes it so much more easier. So here is what we do, like when we have dinner, and we play that game where we ask our body, and I know it sounds so ridiculous, simple, but honest to God, it is so powerful. So he would, like my little boy, he would go and ask tummy, or I would ask his tummy, right? When he wants to have more, I would say, little belly or little tummy, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you still hungry? Do you want to have more food? Or do you feel like you're full and you had enough? So, we're kind of we're in a way like depersonalizing that body part, but also building a new relationship, right? We are, we're taking this part out and humanizing it and starting to have a relationship with this part. And especially for us women, our bellies, our tummies carry a huge amount of shame. So most of my clients, they don't want to have anything to do with their bellies, because there's so much judgment, there's so much negativity around it. It's bloated and it's wobbly and there are stretch marks and it's not as thin or flat, or all those attachments. So they want to do anything but connecting with it. But that's exactly what we need to do, because that is the center of our intuition, for us women. It's the center of our femininity, it's the center of our self-esteem, it's the center of our, female ancient wisdom. So if we are so busy like avoiding this part of ourselves, we will never learn to really tune into our intuition, right? I hope this is making sense for you guys. If you have any questions, leave a comment, throw up some emojis if something is landing for you, okay? So basically, we are asking those body parts, how do you feel? What do you need? What do you want to have more of? And you can use that strategy with anything, like if you're aching, or if you're kind of just feeling dodgy, or if you're having heartache and you don't really know what you need. Ask those parts, like, what do you need right now? Maybe it's just a hug, or in terms of like eating, your body will tell you, well, actually, if you ask me now, I'm actually full. I actually had enough. And what this is also doing, it's really, really clever, because you're disrupting this automatic loop of eating more, right? By taking a step, it's like you're in this loop, right? In this trained and learned and conditioned behavior to eat more and more and more. And we want to disrupt that, right? We want to disrupt that automatic pattern and creating a new one, right? So by taking a step out and actually facing yourself, facing your stomach, facing your digestive system, like is asking the questions like, am I actually full? Is my belly, ask my belly, have you had enough? And you will hear, maybe not at the beginning, but if you're really willing to listen, you will get an inclination of, yeah or no. So my 3-year-old one says, yeah, my belly says it's full. Look, it's really, really full. It's really big, right? I don't want any more. My belly says it had enough. So, he's learning to feel, what does it feel like to have enough, and to honor this, without going, well, you have to finish your plate. And this is another thing. If you have children, it's really, really important to, to look at what are the rules. What rules do you carry, being passed on around eating? Do you have to sit quietly at the table, and do you have to finish everything that's on your plate? And is wasted food, is that not allowed? These are all like things that really play out in our behavior around food. So respect the answer. This is important. Respect the answer that is coming up, because every time you're disregarding it and you're discounting it, you're giving yourself, your body, and this little inner part of you that probably is quite young, the message that you don't matter. You're not important. Like, what you've got to say, I don't care. Like, what you tell me is not irrelevant. In fact, it isn't true. And I decide, I overrule you because it's that ego part that I'm more powerful, right? So it is really, really important that when you ask yourself questions, when you get back into a relationship with yourself, that you're actually listening and you're honoring yourself. And this is why, my approach is all about love and self-love, and not just looking in the mirror or giving yourself affirmations. It's real. You've got to listen to yourself, and you've got to follow up with actions. You've got to respect yourself, because every time you're not doing them, you're confirming this belief, this underlying deeper layer belief that you don't matter, that you're not good enough, that you're not important, that you're not worthy of caring, all those lingering suspicions that we carry about ourselves. It is, most of us probably haven't been, had experience in childhood where we made up this stuff, right? And it's our job now as parents, as adults, as our own parents, right, to start transforming them. And we do that not just by talking about it and making sense of it, but really applying it and taking different actions and giving ourselves the honor and the appreciation and the acknowledgement that you may have needed when you were younger, or for whatever reasons. But it's our job to do that today, in the here and now. And honest to God, this is how simple it is. It's really 2 parts. Ask yourself, ask those body parts, have you had enough belly? And you may want to, and I know that may be like a really big step for somebody, you may want to even touch your belly. You have that physical connection where you hold on to it, and you stroke over it, and you're gently checking in. How are you doing? How are you doing now that you've had this meal, or now that you feel like you can use it as well when you feel like you really want to eat something, and you want to binge or graze or whatever. Hold that part of yourself, hold that part of your belly, really hold her here, and be gentle and give her a stroke, and just check in. What do you need? Like, do you really need this chocolate bar right now? Or what else do you need? Do you need to go for a walk? Do I just need some warmth? Maybe it's just a warm cup of tea, or just some stroking, or what are you really hungry for? And when you're eating, ask, have you had enough? Are you good? Are you done in there? Or do you still need some food? Do you still need something? So ask this part of your body, check in with yourself, and then listen. Practice to listen. Give yourself the time, the space, and tune inwards and listen and respect what you hear, right? So it's a process. It's the more you practice that, the more intuitive it will come. And if you have children, it's a beautiful, beautiful, playful way to help them, get back into their bodies and build that relationship with themselves, so that they can really, that they automatically tune inwards and listen to their voice and their bodies, instead of I need more food. Okay, right. So this has been my super tool for helping you stop eating when you're full. And honest to God, it works miracles. It helps me every single time. I feel like, maybe I should be having some more of this. But you gotta apply it, and you gotta, the key in all of this, it's you gotta listen to it. right? You got to listen to it, and you got to have to make a decision that I'm worthy of caring. I may not 100% believe it, but I'm going to act as if, right? If I want to binge, I can always do it tomorrow. But for today, for this meal, just for this moment, I'm deciding to listen. Okay? So really try it out. Tag me. Let me know how you're getting on. If you have any questions, this is your chance to ask them right now. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful for you. If there's anything that you want me to address or that you want to learn about, again, leave a comment. Let me know, and I'm absolutely happy. It'll be my pleasure to answer that for you in one of those live streams. Okay? And if you know anyone who would benefit from that, you can just, tag their name. It's like, hey, this has been really, really awesome. I think you'd love this. And share the message, So many of us are struggling with food and have no clue where to even start, right? No clue of how do you stop eating? How do you know when you're full? How do you even know when you're hungry, right? So I hope this is giving you a playful, kind of different alternative, looking at your body and checking in with yourself. So if you're here, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, because there's going to be lots of stuff coming up this week. I'm going to run a new challenge next week, which is going to be super awesome because it's my birthday week and I have tons of goodies and special stuff lined up for you. So definitely hang around. And yes, thank you so much for tuning in.